Well, here's a familiar sight for us. Jackson Smylie and Josh Sokol on stream. Jackson and Josh, first and second place in this tournament, now both at 15-4 after a Josh victory and a Jackson loss. Lots of stakes on this game. Obviously, first place of the tournament will go to the winner of this game. And Josh would love to win as their head to head series now across 87 games. Jackson has a 1-game lead. We saw him win that game earlier on in the tournament. So looking forward to another great game. Will Jackson pull 2 ahead in the head-to-head lifetime series and 1 ahead in the tournament? Or can Josh shake things up? And will the tournament have a different front runner for the first time in 2.5 days? We'll find out right here as Josh gets to play first and gets to play out of BENPRUW. I'm joined by Noah Kalus. Noah, what do you see out of this rack?
Only 1-5 prune and leaves WB, which is not pleasant at all. So I'm thinking he's going to play a 4. But we will see what he decides on.
Yeah, I think it's
Josh always.
Yeah. Pub,
Josh
burp,
always with
and
very
noob
funny
all coming down.
facial
Pub
expressions.
14, burp 16, noob 18. But a short play here. Just which one does Josh want to make? We'll find out.
Yeah. No, always a fun opponent in Josh. I've had a good amount of games against him. I will not let people forget I had a 4-game win streak against him in NASPA, but unfortunately I was not able to make it an extended this time for mainly the same reason Nigel didn't come. I didn't want to embarrass him.
Yeah. Nigel mercifully staying home. And if you don't know Nigel, let me briefly introduce him, the GOAT. Nigel, the best Scrabble player of all time. Nigel Richards, big, bushy, grayish beard, hails from Malaysia and or New Zealand, and just a phenomenal Scrabble player. Undisputably the greatest of all time in this game. Josh opening with pub and opening vertically to the ire of a few of our viewers and to the I don't care of many more of our viewers. And now Jackson with 2 Y's on his rack, ADILOYY. And I'm sure he would have loved the opportunity to play doily, DOYLY. But even though
Josh draws into whiners.
Wow, whiners, dang. Yeah, even though Josh slots a B next to a double letter square, Jackson's not going to have a great play to work out, and Josh going to have a huge counterplay.
He sure will, yeah. And pub not taking any yet. It will in the next edition, I believe, though.
Oh, is it getting the back E finally?
Yeah, it is.
And here's one more thing for everybody at home. If you remember, we watched Trey Wright versus Paul Holzer, and Trey nearly blowing the game by playing FIREE, which got challenged off by Paul. Trey messaged me later that evening and said he's actually been studying OSPD 7 on accident. That'll be the new dictionary that comes out in a few weeks, and FIRE to be added. So Trey was surprised when it came off, and that suddenly makes a lot more sense why he played Fiery in a situation where he had many other similar plays. So if you remember that, that's why we got the intel for you.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Hirey is good, not fiery.
Hirey, yes. Oh man, did Jackson Lady
obviously
Boy?
Lady Boy.
Lady Boy not valid in Scrabble, but that would be his best play for sure if it were.
Josh would bust a gut.
Oh wow, maybe not the best play, but oh man, it'd be fun. It'd be content for sure. Alas, Jackson shuffling his tiles. He likely knows it's not a word. I wouldn't challenge it. I'd laugh though.
Yeah, no. I'd it depends on who plays it. But I may or may not challenge. Little do I know double Y sevens. But as Yo comes down with the buy hook, pretty obvious. Unfortunately, a lot of compensation comes Josh's way with that play. Not able to double, right? So he doesn't have any sevens.
Won't double, but he's going to be able to play this in 2 different spots for 85 He can either play
That's
with
not
an
bad.
extension to YO, or as he's going to
I
do here,
mean,
this is
just the
his
hook.
other highest scoring bingo and rather defensive. Winer's a very straightforward move. Going to come down for 85 for Josh.
And now with Jackson, no sevens, but a good amount of eights that don't play.
Yeah, no
Unfortunately.
sevens. Jackson's going to have to decide what to do here. He could once again play YO, which would be rather funny. YO and WO for 20 points, holding ADILR. That doesn't seem to be the style Jackson's been playing all tournament. Although Jackson, in many of the games we've watched, has been playing players who are lower rated than him, probably slightly inferior opponents, and you want to avoid randomness against those players. Though Josh probably a very even match for Jackson, so perhaps he plays a little bit more standard against Josh than some other opponents. He's got other options as well if he wants to play a little bit longer. Aroid, AROID, playing alongside Winers for 30, holding LY. Lloyd in the same spot and Road in that same spot as well, each play for 28. Or he can play very long through the W with a play like Routily for 28 or Oilway for 24 if he wants to try to get this board open and shift it off to the left a little bit. So a tough turn, and man, I have no idea what I would do here. You could even consider a play like Owly, OWLY, through that W. I don't know what Jackson's going to do, but I bet he spends some time thinking here.
Yeah, no, I sort of like the play of Routily, but having played off Josh, having played off 7 tiles, and Routily is going to come down, just as I say. I, of course, does set up a nice little couple of nice spots, but the forkage, not a word, don't play that, is you know, good enough to shoulder that risk.
Yeah. I think Jackson, again, he's been very consistently playing long this tournament and probably foregoing a few points of equity to make that play, but it'll shape this board in a way he needs to shape it as he's down early in this game. Now, accessing the left side of the board will be easy as you can overlap Routily or play down to the R and ensure we can work our way over there. And Jackson, I'm sure, does not.
Jackson drawing very well.
Yeah, great pull for Jackson, Kareens, and Cassern, and some other
Kareens
bingos in there.
and
But we'll look over at Josh's
Recanes,
rack now, as he's got
Recanes as
prone
well.
stuff and a J, and he'll have to decide what exactly he wants to do with it. It's got
And
some,
of course, jalapeno, unfortunately, not to be.
alas, yes, not to be jalapeno would be great through a P, but he has a Soja from the J, holding AELN. Jiao, I think, looks to be a great option. JIAO through the I in Routily. He could give a shout out to Joey and play Joey to the Y for 28. Or he can hold on to the J and play something like Olea with 4 overlaps on top of Routily, perhaps trying to cash that J in next turn, maybe playing down to the R in Routily instead. I expect Jiao to come down. I think it's a pretty straightforward decision here. But Josh going to take his time and see if there's a way he can set up his J or, do something else clever here.
Yeah, no. Josh with a lead here. I also think Zhao's gonna come down. Yeah, it doesn't. Of course, it does. Set up a possible crushing bingo lane, which Jackson would take full advantage of if it does come down with Recanes.
Kareens, Cassern, Recanes, the 3 sevens in Jackson's rack, and he'll almost certainly get one of them down anywhere on this board. Way to go, Jackson. So he plays off 6 tiles last turn and picks up Kareem's very nice balanced rack. A lot of players definitely try to keep their rack as nice, as balanced as possible, but it's really great when you can draw stuff like this out of the bag on 6 tile pulls, and it happens more often than one might think. I think Jackson is looking directly at Josh. I think he did it for like 20 seconds there.
Intimidation.
Straight into his soul. Not trying to intimidate, just casually looking at Josh.
That could be intimidating, I think.
That
But
one
I don't
actually,
know
I
if Josh
remember Jackson and I
coordinated.
were taught that one together by Adam Ginsberg, another great player, not here this year, from California, the Bay Area. But Jackson and Adam back and forwards trying to win Division Two.
As Jao is missed. Oh, okay. I was gonna say he plays jail.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
think he's setting up his O. Again, yeah, Josh
Yeah.
trying to maximize, but I
I
just
thought he was
don't
gonna
like that lead.
misspell Jao at first. Oh boy, man.
I thought you thought he misspelled it. Yeah, no,
I
no.
thought it was gonna. Yeah, no. Uh, Jackson without the O, but doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, Jackson to play Recanes, I think, on top of Routerly. That's going to be 75 points, highest scoring bingo.
Yeah,
He'll waste
there
no
he
time
goes.
doing it. Wow. So Josh, setting up his O, he'll be able to cash it in. And he picks up the blank. So points this turn and likely big points next turn. I think a play of oil.
Yeah, there has to
OIL,
be an 8
straightforward.
there somewhere.
Nope, no eights.
Oh no, there's no 8s. Wow.
No bingos. And so I think OIL down to the L will be a play for him. If he wants to,
Yeah, pretty
play
easily.
Jiao again this turn, JIAO. If he'd prefer to play off 3 vowels instead of just 2. But oil looks to be such a strong.
Oil's far better, yeah, I think.
AENO blank with the C sitting on top of a double line. Oh man, if I'm Josh, 26 this turn, 90 next turn. That's my play.
To play OI with that kind of compensation and to not then to take care, and the other blank gets drawn by Jackson.
Wow, so we'll likely see oil bingo next turn.
Yeah. No, but Josh, likely just making sure there are no 8s that he's missing here before playing OI. But yeah, gonna do some rack shuffling. He looks at his camera. I'm not sure. What was he setting up there that he was implying?
I missed it, but I'm sure it was funny, and I'm sure Josh's loyal following on Twitch can drop something in chat about what exactly that was.
Yeah.
If it were Jackson's turn right now, I will give 1 internet brownie point to the person who, without using an anagrammer, can find Jackson's highest scoring bingo. It scores 1 more than the other options available to him, as Josh does come down with oil. Not missing any bingos there. And
no,
Jackson
and
bingo.
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Still the highest scoring bingo for Jackson available after that play. 1 more than the other plays. I see chat has pointed out Paranoid. That scores 76. But 1 bingo scores 77, and it's a word I did not know. Dallapons, I see in chat, also scores 76. 1 bingo scores 77.
Now he's setting something up that's...
It's Parlando through the R, which is another playable bingo. Not a fan of that one. It opens this board wide up, sets that A next to a triple letter, opens bingo lines. Jackson's got better plays here, but he's found at least 1 bingo. Always good to have that peace of mind. Like, okay, I know I'm going to bingo. I'm not crazy. But
And Josh draws it to a potential double in Covenant.
Yeah, Covenant, Centavos, Jackson's highest scoring bingo will stop those from coming down.
Yeah, interesting.
The blank is an S.
But likely going to be bingo either way.
Yes, yeah. Josh's rack is too good to not bingo. Renovate, overneat, whatever. Do something.
Something, yeah. Something that we probably don't know if we can't find it. But
I see Matthew saying hand soap. Okay, change the H to an S, and you've got sand soap. That is Jackson's highest scoring bingo. Never seen that word before in my life. I had to make sure I didn't have this set to Collins or Sanskrit or something. Sand soap. What on earth is that? Let's get a exclamation define sand soap for me, because what? There we go. A soap for heavy.
It's a type of soap.
Is it derived from sand? Does it clean up sand? Is sand an acronym? The world may never know. But that technically Jackson's highest scoring bingo by 1 point. I do wonder if he sees that, or if he ends up making a play like Dallapon.
It wouldn't shock me if he saw it.
I mean, Jackson probably knows all the words.
Yeah, he just knows all the words, of course, like everybody does. like you and I, of course. Oh, does he see it? Wait,
No,
no,
Dalapan's coming
no,
down.
but uh, still pretty good. Only 1 point less, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 1 point less.
Devastating amount of point loss from Jackson
A
there.
horrific
Likely
mistake by
losing the
Jackson,
game.
the worst
Terrible,
Scrabble player
terrible,
I've ever seen on the stream, and
awful. No, of
unbelievable,
course we're
awful.
kidding.
Get him off. Just kidding. Okay, so Josh to respond
Yeah.
now. AENOTV blank. As I mentioned, Renovate was blocked, but its anagram over neat still playing through the R in Recanes. That's going to create some fireworks on the board, open a triple, but definitely his highest scoring bingo. Only 2 other available bingos over neat through the E for 61. If you want to be paranoid, pun not really intended, but good job, me. Or covalent through the blank L for 59. How are you bingoing for 59 with the V on your rack? That's ridiculous. Josh also
As an
has.
X is drawn now by
Woo.
Jackson.
Josh could also consider not bingoing on this turn and playing either Novate or Novena from the Ian Winers for 39. And in this case, it's maybe reasonable to forego a bingo here. Ovate as well for 36 down from the O makes some sense. I think
Forgo the bingo.
Right. I think you've got to score the points here and play over neat. But if we've got fans of one play or another for any reason in chat, shout it out. Tell me why. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, no, Josh is definitely a creative player, so it wouldn't shock me if he did something wacky, as we have commentary from one of our canine employees here.
Yes, that is Colby. Again, he's trying to endorse Woogles.io, letting everybody know where you can play online Scrabble. Woogles made by Scrabble players for Scrabble players. But I'm trying to get him out of here because we don't need that. I'm sure it's extremely loud to those of you at home wearing headphones. And I'm sorry to Colby.
But Jackson, as far as I see, is oxide. That is a word, I think, if I'm not crazy.
Yeah, Oxide would be huge. That'll be a ton of points for
Yes.
Jackson. CGG,
And
never the league you
likely will
wanted,
not
but
be
hey, when you're
blocked,
scoring
right?
63, whatever.
Yeah. Oh man. So once again, looking favorable for Jackson, but obviously with Josh, games can turn upside down. I've played him a lot. You've played him a lot. Games can turn upside down just like that.
Yeah, again, I said the secret to beating Jackson. I've been employing this strategy now for a couple years. You've got to lose 2 or 3 turns in the game and then just draw so unbelievably well that you beat him anyway. I keep doing it. I'm sure there's annotateds out. Watch the horrific phonies I play and the common words I challenge as I proceed to bag him anyway.
That's great. I've only played Jackson once. I played a phony triple and got away with it and still lost. So
That's rather
yeah.
impressive.
Well, the loss was kind of tough, but yeah, I still consider it a win, an internal win.
We take those.
Josh deliberating here.
I've
What's
been running a Quackle
going to
sim on this
play?
turn since we opened it up, and Quackle has one play that it prefers to the others. All 4 others are neck and neck within about a point, but one play sims 2.5 above the rest, and that is the non-bingo Novate for 39. Your guess is as good as mine as to why Novate is good and Novena is bad. Novena is simming near the bottom of those, whereas Novate near the top. Perhaps because there are 5 unseen T's and 2 unseen N's. But yeah, Novate seems to be the favorite of the duck, as it's so begrudgingly called or lovingly called, depending on your relationship with that robot.
Yeah, no. Novena, of course, would look very pleasant, but Novate also ends intrinsically have less value than T's, as far as I'm aware. But or N is better than T in general. Ari's saying, really?
Yeah, I think N, we looked this up earlier today, was about a half a point better, and especially
Yeah,
with 5
that
T's and
surprised
2
me.
N's unseen. Okay, so Josh playing over
But
neat.
Josh will opt to play the bingo.
Yeah,
Which
I'd
will
play
work
the
out for
bingo
him
here.
because Jackson pretty much has to play Oxide, right? Does he have anything else through the top triple? No. Oxide setting up egg, of course. You know,
Oxide setting
Adam.
up egg. Yes. Wow. Egg. Such a good play. I don't know if he'll see it
Yeah, I
though.
still don't understand that meme. What is that? It's become like the biggest Scrabble Twitch meme. I still don't get it. Where did that originate?
There
And
was a
I
situation.
do this. Yeah.
Yeah, egg seemed to be the clear and away best play, and somebody decided to play ENG instead, and it broke my brain. As I'm like, why wouldn't you play egg? Why wouldn't you play egg? And now egg has become just a big meme as my brain exploded.
Is that really? That's where it originated.
I think
Wow.
so.
Crazy. All right. Wow. I didn't know I was speaking to the pioneer of that.
Yeah, yeah. Unless egg was a thing beforehand and it just became a thing again in that game. I think that was created at Word Cup 2 weeks ago. Saint actually
Oh
commented on
no,
that.
no, no! It's been long before 2 weeks ago.
Oh, has it? Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then I'll stop taking credit for things that aren't mine.
That's okay. You can still do that. I
Yeah,
do
I'm
that
still
all the
taking
time.
credit. You're right.
For Josh draws the Z, which looks great with a triple letter score above an A. Unfortunately, OLIL not words. ZO only good in Collins. And I don't know. What do you see anything up top, Matt?
There's nothing up top. How wild that O was strung in a triple triple. Jackson leaves it alone, and
And
now
no
Josh
TZ
more than likely
either.
going to also leave it alone. The straightforward play here is ZT through the T and over neat, 42
Of
points.
course.
Josh definitely going to take his time. Josh loves thinking about things like this. What can I fish
Yeah.
for? Can I hit Azo? Can I hit any other Z bomb on top of Dalapons? That spot is so juicy. Jackson's not going to play there because he's going to play on the top. What can I fish for? How likely am I to draw it? I'd love to bomb this Z instead of just cash it in
Mm-hmm.
42 right now. But I don't think
Yeah.
there's a clever way to do that. And I think he's going to end up having to play ZT, though not before he thinks of it.
I'm thinking about something.
What's
No, I mean, if you obviously you'd look to draw an E for either says or what are is res good still? Is
Res is good, but
good?
RA is not.
Okay, res are okay, yeah, that's a good
Neither
point.
is SA. So Res
Yeah,
says not plays. Les, I believe, was expurgated. And yeah,
yeah, okay.
you're going to
So
need to
no,
hold
never
on to
mind.
ZO and fish for Azo on top of Dalapons, and only 4 unseen A's. I don't know that
Yeah,
that's good enough to
definitely
hit.
not.
But Josh going to take his time, make sure he's not whiffing on anything that could be cool or awesome. And I bet he just ends up
Obviously.
playing ZT here.
The best playoff for like BIN would be I see it would be Biner through the ER, but obviously leaving too much open. It just being too cute at that point. I think ZD comes down as Matt said.
Oh my goodness. Chat likes
What?
NIB and JOB in the top right. That's neat.
Oh man. So yeah, no, I mean there is some I can see that a little bit because with the amount of open triples, it's beginning to dilute the scariness of the openness of this board, if that makes sense.
The Z would be so powerful, obviously holding
Oh, the Z would
ZINS
be,
for six.
and she's gonna play BI, it looks like, or BIN possibly.
Okay, doing a slightly worse
Probably
version.
BIN. But yeah, no, Josh, on as always, coming up with a very creative play that could sim very well, or that sims very well, apparently, according to some chat
It
members.
likely would. Yeah, I
Yeah,
am lazy and don't want to run a sim, but I will just to
I
appease
have not
chat.
opened Quackle yet this stream.
Well, that's my job. That's why I'm getting paid
Yeah, that's what you're
probably
doing.
no money to do this. All right. So yeah, running the sim, Nib just down about a point and a half over some of those other options. Again, Nib
Yeah.
works in the vacuum that is Quackle, but Jackson likely to make inferences after that play and respond a little bit differently.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't know. What kind of inference would you make with a play like Nib?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But Jackson
But
certainly
yeah,
has to
no,
be going hard
I
about it.
Nib and Job. Yeah, no, I see the potential of it now, obviously,
You
but
can pull into Azo on top of Dalapon. You can pull into Ditz or Ritz through the T. You can pull it. You've already holding.
even on the O, there's spots, there's
Yeah,
stuff you
there's
can
other
draw
ozones or
into.
something. There's lots of
Yeah,
stuff you can pull.
and he does play bin, or is he thinking about holding the N? There'd be no argument for that, right?
I don't know. Nib is a really
Holding
cool
the
play.
N.
I'd be
Yeah,
surprised if
why
Josh
is he
did
not
it.
playing off the? I'm confused why he's not. Oh, is he maybe setting up an IZE possibly with this? That's something to consider.
By zones, he can pull if he holds on to the N. By zones from the
But
BI
no, he
would be
plays the
over
N.
50 points if he draws an E. But he's going to
I
play
think
BIN.
that
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he was thinking of just playing BI to set up a possible IZE8 with Biz, which would be legendary, but he decides against it to get the extra tile, which is probably the right choice. As he draws,
Zoisite. He draws
not.
into Zoisite.
Oh, he draws into Zoosite. Yeah, that's a bingo. But does it play?
I don't see it.
Doesn't play, but you can play it through the O, of course.
So BI
Um,
in Josh's play.
so
Maybe we like NIB
not
up a
quite
little
the
bit more. Gavage
Yeah,
comes
not
on right
quite.
away for Jackson. Great way to
Yeah, pretty
undouble
clear play there.
TZE. And Josh now with this unplayable Zoisite tries to be clever, tries to set up this Z. Doesn't quite, but draws Ooziest for 78. And if you're not going to bingo, well, scoring 78 sure feels good. But Ooziest has a
Booziest, is
friend.
that good? Yeah.
Ooziest is good, yeah.
Wow. And there's
It's a
but
W
no,
out.
these are gone. Oh, wooziest. Oh, I was saying booziest.
So that's a content play for sure. It is far and away his highest scoring
Boozy
option
good,
and his
not.
best option. No B's for
Oh
Booziest.
no, booziest is good,
Booziest is
but it
good, but no
no
B's out, no
no
blanks out,
bees.
just one W out. So Ooziest. Oh no, Josh, play Ooziest. Give us the fun. No,
Oh.
no. Okay.
Maybe
Ooh.
I've knowing Josh, I
I
would
think he
say
missed
I
it.
would think he'd play it. I think he missed it,
I think
possibly.
he
Yeah,
missed it.
I think he might have missed it as well. Now Jackson with nowhere to play the Q up top.
Yeah,
Um,
that O is still there.
and
How is
so
that
it's still
O
gonna
still
be
there?
open somehow. Um, but Quash setting up Jackson is through the A and Recanes.
Yeah, well,
Of course,
fails to set
Jackson.
up a
Of
fun
course,
hook.
Josh with an S.
Yeah, Josh failing to set
That'll
up
be
a fun
fun.
hook. Maybe Jackson with an opportunity. One unseen S, no unseen blanks for Jackson. And yeah,
Yeah,
Quash would set up a big S spot for the S that Josh is sitting on. So Quash
very
definitely an
fortunate
option
there.
for
Yeah.
him. Also could consider QUA in the same spot,
Ooh.
FCHSU. Maybe he could fish for a Benji type play. Let's get the copy pasta in chat. And
QUA. How many? Well, I mean, depends on the DMAT. Seems like a lot of A's left.
there's three.
Or yeah, for the tile. Where how many tiles are left at this point?
34
A little over
unseen.
30. 34, 3. Yeah, so less than what would be expected, I think. Very slightly less.
One other option for Jackson is actually to hold on to the Q for now, maybe in efforts to get more points out of it in the future. He can play Chufa, CHUFA, to the A and Dalapons. It's only 21 for now, but
Ah.
SUQ could result in quite a few points down the road.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. With although with the E down below, what do you play there with QUS? That's well, I'm sure that obviously there are things to play, but are there many things to play? Obviously the O, but you have to think that's more likely to be played upon than the E.
Yeah, Jackson looking to play Chufa now, and I think just with the
Yeah, and
entropy
with
that,
an E, he'll draw into queer.
yeah,
With the ER and recanes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
weighing his options, of course. Josh was a little bit low on time, but he'll be fine. He's somewhat of a blitz player, if I recall. He's dabbled.
All right, so
And
Quash
he goes for
is going to be
squash
what
or quash.
Jackson
Sorry,
plays for.
Jackson. Yeah,
Josh definitely going to look down at his
Josh will
tracking
play
as he keeps the
squash.
score. Yeah, he's going to look down at his tracking, realize, ooh, I've got this last S. This is good for me. I think he needs to
Very,
cash it
very
in
good.
now, as so many opportunities to play down to the ER exist. And yet at the same time, he's got other great
But
options that
yeah,
don't hit the spot.
Took is gonna go down right away, and I think that's the right idea because he can't because squash can't be blocked reasonably.
Play down to ER and you can.
Unless it plays down to ER, but he's willing to shoulder that risk for the points without the S and took, which honestly I like a lot. But we'll see if Jackson. Oh, and now Josh draws into a
Solarette.
very high prob rack and Solarette. Is it
Solarette
Solarette or
gonna
Solaray?
whatever it is, it's gonna play with squash
Whatever it
this
is,
turn.
yeah.
Yeah, people asking
Unless
why
it
did
gets
Josh play
blocked.
took instead of look? Why did he put the T down when it's a better tile? It's because there were
Oh yeah.
four unseen T's and only one unseen L to Josh. So
Still
he's
so
not
many
looking to double
unseen
up on
T's.
anything.
Yeah.
So nice play by Josh. We'll get the unseen pool up for y'all now, as 27 unseen, 20 in the bag for these players. And Jackson got to figure out how to get himself caught up in this game. He is winning, I guess, but to us at home, it sure feels like he's losing, knowing Josh sitting on this,
No, yeah.
sitting on the good stuff, and Jackson with a bad rack. He's looking at unfed through the E
Unfed
in Gavage,
and
but we know that any play that doesn't block
objectively,
Array
yeah.
is going to be game over for him more than likely.
Yeah, unfortunately, objectively, we from Jackson's perspective, I'd probably play unfed too. But Solar Ray is gonna come down quicker than I don't know. Very, very quick. Very, very quick.
Yeah,
As not even
92 points.
hesitation. The very obvious best play and devastating blow as Jackson is gonna need quite the miracle to get back into this game now.
ARUT, so the dreaded
As
CUG once again for Jackson. I think this is going to be close to game over. 9 in the bag. Jackson needs to play gutty here, I think, to the Y just to get him some points. It'll be 39 to put him down 389 to 412. But it's going to be hard for Jackson to catch
no
back.
O's or I's drawn by Josh, but it's just you know, from my perspective at least, just far too big a lead at this point. To even with the high scoring play of Gutty. But there are some E's left. And he's leaving Carr, but no real bingo lanes besides through the Z, but very unlikely, of course. If even possible. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
something.
Jackson spotted Gutty now. He needs to score some points, but he also wants to be looking at the bottom. Like, is there any high scoring play I can draw? What are the odds Josh has garbage over there? Does he have all vowels or all consonants? Is it possible he's going to have to score very little? I'm not totally sure what options exist, but we saw Jackson previously in his last game against Josh look at the pool with 12 tiles in the bag and realize there's not a single 7 Josh can have. So Jackson's going to think about that unseen pool again here, try to figure out what he can do. Do I need to play Gutty or Cuddy? He is going to play Gutty
Yeah, he
here.
goes
And
for
let's see what this.
Gutty, the higher variance play,
Yeah,
which is advisable.
AAEFMR for Josh. So he'll be able to score quite well this turn and likely enough to close out this game, barring a really nice pull from Jackson that gives him, maybe a 9-letter bingo at the bottom of this board.
TLI. Oh. Well, you're the pharmacy guy. Are there any other referring to itises that he has?
Not that fit on this board. You could certainly make up some of them, but a lot of medical words, a lot of chemical words, not valid in Scrabble. And I don't even try to make them up unless I've studied them. They're just I assume them to be not good in both lexica.
And Jackson won't. And despite Josh not drawing into an O or an I, Jackson not able to compensate well with an O. OMA, if he had somehow drawn into that, would have helped a lot, but unfortunately, did not. And
All right. Y'all ready for fun? All the possible bingos Jackson could have. He's got 1 from the BI, 2 from the ID, as well as 4 through the Z and ZT. So those are all the threats
4.
available.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 through the
Okay.
Z and ZT. Now, Josh likely going to block that with EF or fair through the I anyway. But
Yeah,
4
no, that's pretty clear.
2 from the ID, 1 from the BI, and 4 using the Z and ZT. And that's all left. Josh is probably going to actually look for these options. And I think as soon as he sees some of the options, itemizer, atomizer, metazoic, triazole through the Z, he's going to think, ooh, I've got to block that stuff. So Josh, with enough scores, a play like fair should score enough, knock out that Z, and he's only left bingo through only left probably losing to crazy draws from Jackson or crazy finds. Although if Josh doesn't empty the bag here, Jackson could fish for 1. Yes,
Yeah,
Adam
and
points out
OI and
theoretical.
QI would probably be the one, as I don't think you could set up any bingo lanes fishing off one tile, can you? Here, maybe, or an oral, but
In A or
that's
something.
pretty easily blocked, isn't
So
it?
now
NA.
unseen to Jackson, AEEEMMOW.
And
Yuck, yuck.
yeah. Oh
Jackson, assuming
man.
probably Josh didn't have the W last turn, as I think we would have seen where over fair in the same spot. So, but we'll see. Josh could fish for idiotical by playing off this R, IDIOT.
Jackson, you mean? But yeah.
I'm sorry, yes, IDIOTICAL. Jackson could fish for. The
Oh
other
yeah, no.
ones, biometric was one, and I've already forgot the other. Was it like identical or something?
Oh, yeah, of course. And no, from Jackson's perspective, okay, so is there 1 or 2 left? I'm
2.
trying to make sure. There's 2 left. Um, he knows whatever if he plays off one tile, he knows that the most likely tile he'll get is obviously an E, probabilistically speaking. Is that a word? I like to make up words. And so he's gonna be going into this play with that knowledge. But he might empty the bag as well. In fact, it might even be advisable to do so.
Yeah. Idiomatic was the other one. Idiomatic, biometric, idiotical were the ones Jackson could have. So a one tile fish for idiotical, very tough to think of. Even if he plays the R, likely going to get blocked by Josh. As what else could Jackson be fishing for on a one tile pull except a 9 at the bottom of this board?
Yeah. They haven't added the brand of pen yet, so Yannick and Bick would not. Well, it would fit very nicely. Unfortunately,
Ooh,
not
yeah.
yet.
Shout out to my best boy,
Is
Chris
that?
Dix.
Wait, is that? Am I crazy, or are they adding that? No, they're not adding that, right? A
I
Bick.
haven't looked at any of these new words. I haven't studied
I
a
gotta
word
look
since
up. I gotta
2014, and
look
I
it
don't
up.
plan on
Somebody
changing
tell
that.
me in chat
Yeah, no, I'm not.
if
I'm
they're
not
adding
looking at new
Bick.
stuff. It's
Because
too many
people say
words.
it. Because people say it. I mean, but I mean, I don't know. It just have to be. I don't know the rule. Does have to be the. Does have to be like a verb, like Googled, Googleable. Googleable is a word. Fun fact with an
Is it?
E. If you didn't
Good to
know.
know. I'll
Yes,
never play that.
Googleable with 2 E's. Only with 2 E's.
Google a bowl with 2 E's. Gross. I hate it.
Yes,
Thanks. I hate it.
it's
That's a
so
YouTube channel.
fun. No, it's a subreddit. You mean?
Oh, it's a subreddit. Yeah, there I ruined it is the YouTube channel. I strongly
Yeah,
recommend that for y'all folks at home. It's a great one too. They take pop songs and mash them up into weird styles, and yeah,
I've also
it's a good
seen
one.
that. Good stuff.
Jackson has
Or
to be
terrible
thinking
stuff, I guess.
terrible, amazing stuff. Yeah,
Yes, like sour
Jackson has to
candy.
be thinking, is there any way I outrun if I draw like MM and Josh has the truly worst possible rack, AEEEEOW? Could I maybe win after a play like Nitric? Can I catch him with a bunch of garbage? But even that, I don't think is going to be enough for Jackson. The only way
Yeah,
he can win
no.
this game is fishing for idiotical. He's got to think of it. He's got to fish off the R, and he would need Josh to not block, and he'd need to pick up the O, which we know is in the bag.
There's so many ands. So many ands.
Yeah,
And if he plays off just the I, he needs to think about his most likely. He needs to think about what he's going to draw there, which is. Is there anything? Are there any possible eights that you could, or nines he could draw into
no,
if he plays
idiotical's
off
the
just
only
the I?
one.
No, idiotical's the only one. Ah, man, and he'll likely logicize that one out, suss that out. Because Jackson is a very good at this word game. Um,
Yeah,
but
it'd be a good
still
feint for
taking his
Jackson.
time. Oh no, he's playing off I. No, oh no.
I think he's just at this point. I don't see anything, but let me
Where's
see if I
IR?
can draw bingo.
Where's IR going to be played here? Where am I? What am I missing here?
I don't know. RAIRIN.
Well, no, he's holding them together with IR. So,
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe
well,
he.
yeah. I mean, there are a couple plays that just play off the eye, but he knows that. Maybe he knows. Not for sure, but probably knows that he'll have no chance of bingoing with that.
Let me see.
With Yoni and XI or QI and OI, scores decent for a one-tile play, but not going to give somebody, not going to give him a win. Maybe calculating that Nitric could possibly win in some scenario, but probably not.
I think if he.
He'd have to go out next turn, and Josh would have to have complete crap, which he doesn't. He has Gem above Dalapons. He's got plenty of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. If you're Jackson, you're going to take all your time, look for anything you might have. You know, he sees biotical, maybe abiotical would be something he's fishing for, which looks like a word but is not actually
He
valid.
plays REI.
Oh, and he's
Oh,
even
you're right.
setting up abiotical. So that's what he's doing, fishing for
Ah,
ABIOTICAL. It's not
fishing
good,
for
but
the
it looks
phony
like it
nine, of
should be
course,
good. And he's
and
even
that's
setting it up to score
curtains.
more points with that RAI. Really good idea by Jackson. He does pick up the O that he needs, but also gets the W, and it's not going to come down
And
for him. It would get challenged enough
the
anyway, but now,
cowtail is that we've reached the cowtail's end of this game. For
yes.
that's the worst joke ever.
Yes, I didn't even realize it was a joke. That's how bad it is. Just kidding, but not really. All right. Well, I think that's what Josh was or Jackson was doing. We'll get our team ready on the ground to get us the banter as soon as the game ends, as I'm sure Jackson will say something about it. So as soon as we get that clock stopped, we'll get that mic over the board live and hear a post mortem here. Definitely a lot
Who's
of
this
stuff to think about.
commentator?
Yeah.
I'm Noah Kalis. This is I'm along with Matt Canik. And some other interesting nuggets from chat here. Apparently, Jason Keller played Abiotical at the Slingerlands. What are the Slingerlands?
I don't know. I'm afraid to engage with chat now because I've been
And
told
also, is Abiotical good in Collins? Follow-up question.
abiotically. Yeah, no, I'm scared of chat.
Abiotically.
They troll me too much. They're
Oh,
smart and
wow.
I'm dumb. And just like teaching high school, don't take the bait.
A very
Don't take
tall
the troll.
person has just defined it in chat. I won't dox them any further.
All right. Well, Josh has to
Very
make a
unfortunate.
play. He's certainly looking
Oh, he's
like
playing
Jackson
off
should be
EE,
doing. Is there anything I need to
and
block?
yeah,
And he's actually going to play this
CE.
in-game optimally. CEE is the best in-game sequence for him. Jackson's best
Mhm.
play then becoming biotical, holding the
Oh,
double.
wait. Nope. He's
No.
gonna take it back, go with ME. Because, yeah,
Okay.
Gem was blocked. Gem would have been played instead of ME. Had Jackson gone with something else. But he's deciding between the two. If he's tracking correctly and knows for sure that Jackson doesn't have a 9, CE is the best play. But no, he plays ME. Keeping not the best leave, but guarantees him a win. So
Yeah, Jackson is going to drop down biotical. Again, I'm certain he was fishing for a biotical. We'll get that post-game banner as soon as his clock is stopped, but he'll say it and then go back and lament some of these
biotical.
plays, Dalapons, Quash. I'll get my phone ready to text him if he says anything questionable. Josh looking at, oh, okay, that's cute. Very good, Jackson.
Yeah. No, I don't quite know why he chose ME over CEE. Do you know?
Probably to do this.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. And that's going to allow Jackson to go out for 10 points with his W.
Oh,
We're
that's a
going to end
nice
up with a
play.
final of 478 for Josh. And yeah, Josh hit his clock. Okay, 478 for Josh,
Oh, man.
432 for Jackson. Oh no, he
Guess he
plays in the
gets
wrong
played.
spot. Only gets 9 instead of 10.
Okay.
And we'll cut
Yep.
to the live mic now and get our post-game banter from the
I'd
players.
love to hear that.
You were considering a play here?
Yeah.
It's rough.
Okay.
We're
You
just
want
gonna
picture?
We're gonna play well.
It's Quash. I want to ask you for Quash. I thought I may have missed something as well.
Is MAME good?
The Y.
It's like then me is the best player.
I'm not
Oh
sure.
no, you blocked it with God.
But all this shit was not. It's actually pretty good. So I had this. I was considering Chufa for 21.
Oh,
Quash for 45. 24 points difference. I'm figuring like after Quash, I give you one chance and then I can play something like Facer or something like that. The problem is some of those blocks give a good lane.
right, but the same thing applies to Chufa, right? Because then you play queer and all out.
Exactly, right? I'm hoping for Queer.
Yeah.
But the thing is, maybe that's just a better long-term thing. You don't really play the too often. I play Chufa, I play Queer later, and then I keep the ass.
I guess the thing is you can't be scared of playing here after Quash, which I guess you were. Like, because you
Well-
have to do something about it.
Sorry. Maybe I should have. Yeah, the thing is, maybe I should have blocked. So I had you play. Do you have the S with Took?
Yeah,
I kind of thought you might have. With Rax, I drew Dung.
I was hiding behind the guise of being on time, hoping that you would get an influence. because
Yeah,
I had to play fast.
I wasn't sure yet. So I have this. I guess I could do. I saw like cuter.
Oh shit! Okay,
I mean,
never mind.
That's the thing.
Under.
I mean, like
I
the thing is though.
Then you run.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like under. I'm only up 11.
You're fucked.
That's why I'm
fucked though here.
That's why I was like. That's why I started running Quash. At least after Chufa, I just have options. But fuck, if I don't draw Queer after Chufa, I'm gonna regret it.
What about? Oh, you can't. So close.
Yeah, like
You can do just like Fug or something, and then go and block next turn.
here.
Yeah. No, here.
It's not bad actually.
Yeah. Pops sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get stuff.
You know, maybe that's better. This is 27 with CGT is a bit funkier. Maybe that is the play.
That looks good to me. I like that. Wait, still in the health.
Oh. That was tough. What did Finn have? Why did it take so long?
I have no idea what it's supposed to be there. IOSZ.
Really?
So I can play ZD immediately. I can play Biz and just give you all the G's are out. And then keep INOS and hope to bingo or bust with Biz, basically.
What's wrong with ZD right now?
What's wrong with ZD? I don't know. I like. He ties the game, doesn't it? It's just that like scoring spots are going away and the B is bad. Oh, best.
Yeah.
Maybe I got a bit. It was a really tough position. Like, I have no idea.
I mean, I guess you draw Hazo.
I get Azo, I got Ritz and Ditz.
Yeah,
Where the hell
that's not bad.
stuff here, like, and
No, this is
blocking a lot of bailout plays for you.
Yeah, Z's a really good tile here for sure. I know what you mean.
But it might just be too weak and too slow. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, well, my headache hasn't gone away.
Ah, damn. This is kind of cool just to, obviously you want to draw more tiles towards like the R or the A, but I don't know. You do draw like, the E is like a pretty good lane with this rack.
Oh yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah.
But so is the end there. Like, I could get some
Is that by own? Some shit.
I was considering. I don't know what to do on jail. Jail's like, hey, Aeon.
Aeon?
Looked horrible. Like, I maybe should have just done Gene. Block this and this. You can still have O stuff, but this seemed. That was your thing anyway. I don't like it. I don't like anything.
Joey. Jello, maybe?
I saw Jello. I didn't hate Jello. Joey and see.
What, Ahi?
I saw Ahi. I do bingo more of that.
I don't
I get
mind.
hit a ton more.
It's not that bad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think I played well.
Is it us or? It's us too?
Yeah.
Okay. We can.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, the players are going to square up the tiles. Sorry, Jackson going back and lamenting his play of Quash as it backfired on him. You know, you can't know what your opponent has, but they're always going to have that doubt. Did I do it right? He's asking Josh. Josh seeming to agree. Josh talking about his BIN play.
Joey Kravchuk coming over too.
Yeah, Joey would like me to tell everybody that he's up to 21 out of 40 blanks after saying mercilessly, like blast texting me over and over his blank counts for the first day of the tournament where he only drew 2 out of 14. Don't ever complain about blanks. If you complain about blanks to me, especially while I am in the bathroom trying to urinate, we're not going to be friends anymore. We're never going to be friends anymore. I despise it. Okay, and Joey's showing exactly why you shouldn't be that guy because nobody wants to hear it. And invariably, once you get it off your chest, you're going to draw all the blanks and look like a fool anyway. So
anyway. No, listen. I understand. I've gotten my share of bad beat stories from Joey as well.
Anyway,
but
okay,
no,
I got it off my chest.
Joey's okay. Joey's a good guy. I like. So we still like Joey.
I can't believe Joey retired from Scrabble yet again 2 days ago, and now back to 10-9 and drawing all the blanks. And oh yeah, this is what I deserve. Okay, yeah, I'll get off my soapbox.
You're going off, man. Canik,
Joey is a character,
cool it,
great
Canik,
friend
cool
of
it.
mine, but absolutely, just the back and forwards. I'm quitting. I'm the best in the world. I'm the best in the world. I'm quitting. Scrabble sucks. I love it. Okay.
All right, you got some good point. Listen. I'm not saying you're wrong, but
So we were having some debate over which game we were going to stream. It looks like Ian may have just decided that anyway, as he's sitting down at table 1. Ian also yet to be streamed this tournament. So I'll double check with our production team, but likely going to stick with Division 1, in which case either Ian and Jackson or Josh and Kevin Fraley, depending on standings, would be a reasonable game for us to stream. Okay. So we are going to take just a brief intermission. You can see Ian ready to go. We know Josh and Jackson are ready to go. We'll figure out exactly what matchup, but we're going to stick with NWL. We're going to stick with Division 1, I believe, is a popular consensus, and Ian has decided it as well. And we will be back just shortly. I'm going to go get a glass of water and a SEPA call, as this is getting challenging. We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for all your contributions in chat. One more game to go from the 2023 Scrabble Players Championship. Be right back, y'all.
Thanks, guys.